Hey, you really piss me off. Do you know that? Just what in the world do you think you're doing trying to marry my brother, you cow? You really need to learn your place and back off of him, got it?
I'm sorry, what? What is all of this about?
I heard the news from my mom. She told me that you and my brother were going to be getting married. Well, I'm not going to let him end up with a fatty like you. I know that you only care about yourself and you just want to use my brother. I won't let you get away with this.
I really have no idea what you're talking about at all, but we've already legally filed our marriage. Of course we're going to have a wedding. I don't get what the problem is.
I know that, but obviously it's the wedding that everyone is going to remember. And I am not going to let you get away with having that wedding.
You mean that you're going to try and stop your brother and I from getting married?
That's right. You two might be married on paper, but it's the wedding where you say your vows in front of everyone. And I am going to ruin that and spoil your marriage from then on. No, that's going to drive a wedge between you and finally break you two up. So don't think that I'm going to let you get away with what you're trying to pull here.
Well, I appreciate how upfront you're being to me with all of this. I'm afraid that won't do. And why would you even want to do this? As far as I know, your mom is really looking forward to us getting married.
Well, I'm not looking forward to it one bit. So there. And I know that if I can convince enough people to see things my way, that I can ruin your wedding like that.
Renee, I really think that you're being unreasonable here. I mean, come on.
No. The only unreasonable one around here is you. You really think that anyone is going to want to see someone like you get married? No one is even going to go to your stupid wedding. I can guarantee you that. There isn't anyone who will want to take the time to see you.
Renee, please. Can't we just try and talk this out like adults? I mean, don't you think all the name-calling and ranting is just a little bit childish?
You think I care at all about what you like? I'll call you names I want to call you. Fat, fatty, fat pig. A person like you can't get married because only pretty people are allowed to get married. Which means that, of course, my brother in his tux will be fine. But he should be standing at the altar waiting for some fat cow like you to walk down the aisle. That will just be a waste of everyone's time and a huge waste of money.
I really don't understand what is making you act this way. I mean, I don't think that anyone else feels this way except you.
I am going to stop this from happening so that I don't have to suffer through the shame of being your sister-in-law. Ugh. Your wedding is going to blow up in your face. Don't think that just because you've gotten the legal bit out of the way that you're going to end up with my brother.
Brad. Hey there, Trish. I was just thinking about where we should do our wedding, and I really do like Green Acres as the location. What do you think? I feel like of all the places that we went to check out, it was the one with the best atmosphere and would just make for a really pretty scenery.
Wait, what? You really want to do Green Acres? But just earlier you were talking about doing a totally different venue, right? I mean, we've already paid the money to ask that other place to hold our dates for us, remember?
I know, but I was reviewing all of our options, and I really do think that Green Acres is going to be the place to do it. In fact, I had a friend tell me that Green Acres was probably the best spot we could find. And then, looking it over again, I thought they really had a point. Well, I can seriously see us getting married there.
Well, I guess I'm just surprised that you changed your mind about this so quickly is all. But I guess I'm not too strongly attached to either place.
Awesome. Perfect. Then Green Acres it is. I've actually already called ahead and signed a contract with Green Acres, so we're all good. Can you believe that we're going to be getting married in just 2 more months? This is crazy. Oh, would you mind calling the other place and canceling for us?
Hold on a second. Do you mean to tell me that you already signed with Green Acres to have our wedding there? And when did we say we're going to be getting married in 2 months? I thought we were still figuring out the dates.
Well, if we don't get married on the day that I arranged for, then the reservation just wouldn't work out.
Okay, but you shouldn't have just gone out and done that by yourself. I mean, we're going to be getting married. We should be choosing these things together.
No, it's fine. You have nothing to worry about at all. Besides, we still have 2 months and plenty of time to figure things out. And it's not like people are going to want to miss our wedding, so it's fine whatever day we choose to do it.
That's not the point that I'm trying to get at here, Brad. I just wish that you would have talked to me a bit more before doing this.
Well, it's already done now, so I don't really see the point in throwing a fit like this. Oh, just a heads up, we're going to be getting married in the morning. So we're not going to have any kind of reception either. And we're going to be getting married in a chapel, and then maybe we'll just go out somewhere and invite friends out. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to be getting there until the very last minute, so you'll have to get there early and set all this up. Sound good?
Now hold on for just 1 second. I thought we agreed that we didn't want to do this in a chapel. Not only that, but I thought that we wanted to have a big reception dinner. And just what do you mean you're going to be late? Late to the wedding? Late to the after party? What is going on here? Why am I having to do any of this by myself when we should be doing all of this together as husband and wife?
Right, well, I would be there to help with all of that, but... Well, the thing is that I just have some errands that I'll have to run that day, and I can't do them any other day.
You're going to be running errands on our wedding day. Are you serious? If that's the case, let's get married on another day. It sounds like you're going to be too busy with your errands to help me out. So I think we should just reschedule the whole thing.
Oh, no, we can't do that. I already set everything up. It has to be on that day. It has to be in the morning, just like I arranged it.
Well, can you at least give me a good reason for why it has to go exactly that way when we agreed on something completely different?
Look, I really don't have the time to get into all of this with you right now, but it just has to be that way, okay? Besides, I've already signed the contract and everything. So if we tried to change things around now, it would cost a fee. And that would just make more trouble for everyone. Don't worry, I'm sure you can handle everything.
I really can't believe the nerve of you. I tried to warn you. Told you that you'd regret this, and you're still getting married? You really have some serious nerve, do you know that? You should have listened to me when you had the chance, Trish.
You know, Trish, I actually really can't take the blame on this one. I actually did try to, at the very least, put off the wedding, but it was actually Brad who arranged for all of this today. In fact, by the time he told me about it, he had already signed the contracts with the venue and everything, so there was nothing I could do.
Wait, what? You mean that it was my brother who picked this place out?
Exactly. But since he did it, hopefully you at least know that we're serious about getting married. I hope that you can enjoy the event at the very least.
Don't you think that you've gotten away with this? You really think that I'm just going to believe that my brother put all of this together? I just know that you probably forced him to do this, didn't you?
You really think that I forced him to have it so that we'd be getting married here today?
Just admit it! But you know what? There's still time for you to listen to what I have to say. You can still go home.
You really think that I'm going to leave my own wedding? I really don't think you know how weddings work.
Oh, don't you worry about that. We don't need you here at the wedding either. You see, I've already found Brad a new wife. So just leave already. I found a girl much more pretty than you. She'll make a much better wife for Brad than you ever would. So I'll let the wedding happen. Just not with you as the bride.
Oh, come on. You have got to be kidding me. You're really going to try and switch out the bride at the last second?
That's right. I told you that I wasn't going to let my brother end up with a nasty old cow like you. I tried to warn you, but you just wouldn't listen. But I'll have you know that I put a lot of planning into today. For hours and hours I thought about the best way that I'd be able to ruin your wedding. And then I finally figured it out. So I went and found a new wife for Brad to marry.
Wow, yeah, I can tell you really must have put a lot of thought into this. It's foolproof. Although, I have to say, I knew that you didn't approve of Brad and I getting married. But I never imagined you'd try something like this.
Well, that's what you get for underestimating me. I told you that I wasn't going to let a fatty like you marry my brother. And now I can give my brother the best wedding present of all. A much better wife than the one that he would have married. And trust me, I took a long time picking out the perfect woman for Brad to end up with. I just know that he's going to like her 1,000 times better than you.
You have got to be kidding me. I really can't believe that you would do this. What's the matter with you?
Oh, don't be sad just because I've outsmarted you. The truth is that you never stood a chance to begin with. But I just know that Brad is going to be so happy. He'll be overjoyed when he finally sees who it is that I've chosen to be his new wife. Not to mention that I'm getting 2 birds with 1 stone.
Wow. Well, I guess I'll give you an A+ for effort, but this is just stupid. I mean, do you really think that something like this could ever work? That anyone would go along with this?
What are you talking about? What part of this is crazy, huh? Do you have any idea how hard I worked picking up the perfect wife for Brad? I used his picture to create a dating profile for him and talked to dozens of women looking for the perfect match. Mwah! Was very strict with who I swiped on, too.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that you found this person who is going to replace me as Brad's wife in a dating app?
Of course I did! There's all kinds of people on there, and I knew that with enough time, I'd find the right person. And I guess I shouldn't have expected anything less for a profile with his face on it. He got all kinds of matches. There were actually so many women who I couldn't even talk to. But finally, I found one who stood out. She was beautiful and went to a good school. I just know that Brad is going to want to marry her right away.
Yeah, I really don't know if that is how this is all going to go down.
Ha! That's what a loser like you would say. But you're just jealous because you realize that I've come up with the perfect plan and that nothing is going to stop me now. So why don't you just give up on this whole thing and go home already, huh? My brother doesn't need you around anymore. Besides, I called ahead to this venue and already told him that there would be a change to the bride's name.
I'm sorry, you what? Did you really do that?
Oh, that's right. I got up first thing in the morning to call them and tell them that there had been a mistake in the preparations. So it was never your wedding to begin with. Don't you get it? I've already won. Now just turn around and go home because Brad is marrying someone else.
Okay, then, fine. In fact, you know that I thank you for doing this. If this is what it's going to take for me to be able to get out of this wedding, then, well, it's unorthodox, but I'll take it.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? You're not supposed to be thanking me for kicking you out of your own wedding.
I'm sure that you thought I'd be breaking down into tears and crying, begging you not to do this. But the fact of the matter is that even before we were going to have this wedding, I was already thinking of leaving Brad. I just wasn't sure how I was going to be able to get out of doing this wedding. But now you've given me the perfect excuse.
No, wait. This doesn't make any sense at all. Why in the world would you want to try and leave my brother? I mean, he's perfect. He's the one that's way too good for you. Did you hit your head or something like that? You should be crushed. Devastated right now.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what you did want to happen when I found out about this plan of yours. But the fact of the matter is that for how perfect your brother pretends to be, it's all just an act. In fact, I bet you didn't know that your brother was already trying to marry 2 women in one day. The whole reason that we're having ours in the morning is so that he can run off and get married again this evening. I'd never want anything to do with that piece of trash again.
What are you talking about? My brother isn't going to be married twice in one day. Don't be ridiculous. What are you even talking about?
If you want to find out about this, you should go and ask Brad yourself. I'm going to be going home just like you told me. But once again, Thank you so much for getting me out of this.
I don't get it. How did you know? How did you know that I was going to be having a second wedding in the afternoon? I hadn't told anyone that, you know. There's no way that you should know this was going to happen.
I guess you just underestimate the power of women's intuition. I mean, really. Did you think that after all the last-minute decisions about our wedding date and venue that I wouldn't guess anything? You even said that you were going to be late to whatever kind of gathering we were supposed to be having afterwards. Well, after that, I waited until you were asleep one night and I went through your phone.
Hold on a second. What? Why in the world would you do that?
To find exactly what I was looking for. All of the proof that you were cheating on me. You met some girl on an app and she didn't care if she was going to be your second wife. You told me that a friend had told you that Green Acres would be the perfect place for our wedding, but it was this other woman's suggestion.
Wait, no. You don't understand. There's been some kind of mistake here.
There's no mistake at all, and you know it. The moment I figured out that you were cheating on me, I knew I wanted a divorce. And to think that we had just gotten ourselves legally married. Our parents and friends were looking forward to celebrating with us. I really wasn't sure about how I was going to get out of this until your sister found a replacement for me.
Wait, hold on. You know that you're the woman that I love the most, right? If I'm going to lose you, then I don't want a second marriage. This woman said that if we didn't get married, that she would tell you about our affair. You see? She was blackmailing me into this second marriage.
Don't you dare and try to pretend to be a victim in this. You're a cheater and a liar, and that's it. And now you're getting what you deserve.
Oh, please don't say those kind of things. Look, you know we can still get through this.
I was putting off our divorce hoping that something would happen to change my mind. But now I just know that I do want a divorce. And you better believe that I'm going to be suing you for the affair that you've had behind my back.
Wait, hold on. You can't be serious about this, right? I mean, you're really going to want to get a divorce? But we're going to be getting married soon.
Oh, I won't be getting married to you. In fact, it seems like you have two choices now. You can either marry this woman in the afternoon or take the woman that your sister brought to replace me. At this point, though, I'm just glad to know that I'm not one of your choices. But anyways, it seems to me like you've got some big decisions to make.
Trish, you have to help me. Please get back here right now. My brother is in serious trouble. The other woman that Brad was seeing and the woman that I chose to replace you are fighting right now. Oh, it's getting really bad. They're kicking and screaming and tearing each other's dresses to shreds. Ooh, it's horrible.
Wow. Well, that sounds like quite the scene. I'm almost sad to miss it.
But that's not all. It turns out that the woman that I found was actually an ex-girlfriend of Renee. And apparently Brad was still choosing who he wanted to marry.
And then the woman that he had been cheating on me with just showed up to fight this other woman?
That's right. I guess neither one of them want to give up on my brother, and so now they're just tearing each other apart. But now my brother is saying that he wants to get back together with you. He says he wants to give you one more chance, so please come back.
Wow. Well, all of that sounds like a hot mess, but also one that I have no real stake in.
But you have to come back. You're married to Brad. I know he said you're going to try and leave him, but you're still his wife.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that at all. But I am going to follow through on that divorce. And then I'm going to sue your brother and the woman he was cheating with. Then I'm going to forget all about Brad and this woman, and especially about you.
You can't do that! You have to come back here and put a stop to all of this! Things are bad here. My parents are wondering where you are.
Well, then it sounds to me like you have some explaining to do, don't you? But like I said, this isn't my problem anymore. And I refuse to intervene. Good luck with all that. Or not. I don't really care either way. After that, I started getting desperate texts from Brad for me to help him, but I ignored them all. Finally, I just decided to block him. Instead, I hired a lawyer to handle the divorce and make sure that Brad and his mistress paid for their affair. Having humiliated himself in front of his friends and family with the fiasco at the wedding, Brad had no one to turn to for help. He had no choice but to take out a loan to pay what he owed me. Not only that, but also had to pay the full price for both weddings. The last thing I heard about Brad was that in order to raise the money that he needed to clear his debt, he had gone to work on a fishing boat in Alaska, and no one has heard from him since. His parents reached out to me and apologized profusely for their children's behavior. They told me that they kicked Renee out and told her to find her own way in life. Obviously, that isn't how I would have liked my marriage to go at all. But I'm just glad that I was able to get out when I did and avoid getting in harm's way. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hi there! Michaela, are you there? I was just wondering why you haven't been responding to any of my messages at all. I've left you so many of them, and I feel like they're not even being read. Just how long are you going to be keeping me waiting, huh?
I'm really sorry about that, Sandra. I was just bathing the kids and putting them to bed, so I was quite busy.
Oh, really? Well, did you even read the other messages that I had sent to you? I want to know what you think. What's your answer?
You mean about bringing fireworks to the next family get-together? You said that it was going to be in celebration, right? But celebration of what exactly?
The fireworks are for the birthday celebrations, of course. We have a lot of birthdays in our family right around the meetup, and it also overlaps with the kids' summer break. So I thought this would be a great way to include some birthdays in there as well.
Oh, I see. I'm not sure I was aware that there were so many birthdays around that date.
Besides, like I said, it's for summer break. And what could be more summery than fireworks, right? I know that we can't get anything too crazy because we don't want to bother the neighbors. But I think that we had fireworks, got the grill going, let the kids play while the adults had something to drink. Oh, it would just be so fun.
So you kind of want to do a 4th of July type deal before the 4th, right? I feel like we'd need to do a lot to do all of that in time. Do you have all the supplies to make an event like that?
Oh, no, of course not. I was just thinking that you would go out and buy everything that we need. That's the whole reason why I messaged you in the first place. But I think you should be able to find everything at the outlet center downtown.
Sorry, you want me to go out and buy everything and make the preparations for this?
Yes, that's what I just said. You do that, and then we can all have a great family barbecue together. Oh, and make sure to buy things for s'mores so that we can make some of those too.
Right. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure that I'll be able to make it to the store to get all of that in time for the family reunion. I just have a really busy schedule up until then, and I don't see how I would be able to make it.
Oh, but it has to be you. I'm going to be really busy as well, and I won't have any time at all until the evening a couple days from now.
Well, I'm telling you that I'm also really busy, and asking me to do this when it'll be the middle of the week is a lot.
I know, but you can just go out and do the shopping once you put the kids down for bed. I mean, I think those stores stay open quite late, so you could just find time to do it at night, right? You should be able to get everything that you need in just one trip, I would think.
I get that, but I get the feeling that not only am I going to be the only person buying everything, but I'll be the one cleaning up everything too. So I'm sorry, but I really don't feel like doing that if that's going to be the case. I'm just too busy with other things.
Are you kidding me? Just what is it that you're so busy with, huh? I mean, it's not like you have a job. Surely you can do this to make sure that your family has a good time, right?
Sandra, I am really sorry, but I only gave birth to the twins 6 months ago, okay? I am still physically recovering and am always feeling worn down after spending a whole day taking care of both of them. So I'm sure that you can understand, from one mom to the next, that I just won't be able to do this.
Oh, don't you try to pull the mother card with me. I don't get why you're making such a big deal over this. Surely you can't be that tired. You just have to rally your energy for one night and do a little bit of shopping. And then think of how much fun everyone will be able to have because of what you did.
I get that, but I think that people are going to have enough fun just being together. And besides, that still doesn't solve the issue of the twins.
I really don't get why you keep bringing up the twins. So you had one extra kid. It can't make things that much more difficult. But if you really can't handle what I'm asking you, then that sounds like more of a you problem. Oh, wait a second, I've got it. What if you leave the twins with your parents for the day of the barbecue? Then you can take the time to prepare everything for us.
Sandra, please. There is no way that would work at all. I mean, it's a 3-hour drive there and back from their house.
Well, that's not so bad. It sounds like you still have plenty of time to get things ready.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be driving 3 hours with 2 newborn infants just to drive 3 hours back and prepare for a party.
Well, why can't you just get Jack to give you a hand? He is your husband, after all.
I know, but Jack is always talking about how busy he is and never really does much in terms of helping me with the kids. So I've been doing everything by myself, and I know what I do and don't have time for. Surely you can understand where I'm coming from, right?
Okay, then I guess you're really leaving me with no choice. You go and buy all the stuff when you can, and on the day of the party, you can hold one of the kids while you set up, and I'll watch the other one. You shouldn't be afraid to ask family for help with these sorts of things.
Oh gee, that really is so sweet of you to offer, but I just couldn't put you out like that.
Oh, it's really nothing at all, dear. You don't have to worry about that one bit. I am more than happy to help you. Just make sure that you get everything that we need to make this part happen, okay?
Do you really want to do this barbecue that badly, Sandra? I mean, it's kind of last minute anyways, and the setup is going to be really difficult. Not to mention the fact that it looks like it's going to be pretty rainy for the rest of the week, too.
Oh no, is it? I guess I forgot to check the weather. Oh well. All that means is that you can forget about the fireworks.
Why don't we just move this to another day? Or save these plans for the 4th of July? I mean, I certainly don't want to have to do all the shopping in the rain.
It would just be such a shame to throw away these plans after I've come up with them.
I know how much you like to plan, Sandra. I'm really not trying to tear you down or anything, but I just really don't think that I can help you.
But I just really wanted to make this family reunion special. I mean, it's not often that we get everyone together like this, you know? Look, I've planned tons of events before, and I think I know what I'm doing. I appreciate your concerns, but maybe just let me handle the details and you do what I tell you to do.
Sandra, I'm really sorry, but I've already explained that I'm not about to leave my kids and do this shopping for you. I've already been really stressed out lately, and this isn't helping me at all. Please understand that I've already given you my answer, and let's leave it at that.
Michaela, I hope that you haven't forgotten about the banquet that we're going to be having today.
Banquet? What do you mean? What happened to your barbecue idea?
Well, don't you remember? We had to cancel that because of the bad weather. So we're going to move everything inside and host a huge dinner for everyone.
We? Just who do you mean when you say that?
I mean, I know that maybe I was just being a bit too hopeful with the fireworks. I should have suggested that we do this in the first place.
Sandra, wait. Slow down here. I already told you that I wouldn't really be able to help with any kind of event with my kids. You do remember that, right?
Well, of course I remember. But that was when we were just talking about the barbecue. Now that everything is indoors, this is going to be a lot easier. See? Don't say that I never think about what will work best for you, too.
That's really the point that I was trying to make when I said that.
But you agree with me that something indoors is easier to plan than outdoors, right? Plus, by having a big dinner in the house, you can still keep an eye on the little ones while you help me prepare.
So then, I'm going to help you, right? Because I really don't want to be left having to do all of the work.
Well, you know how bad my knees are, don't you? So I will be sitting down for most of the night, but I'll be happy to tell you what to do to make sure that everything goes perfectly.
So, you're not going to do anything to actually, physically help me with the party?
Well, I just said that I was going to be giving you instructions for what to do. Isn't that enough?
All that means to me is that I'm going to be the one doing all of the work, Sandra.
But you're so much younger and full of life than I am. If I was your age, I would be more than happy to help my elderly mother-in-law with throwing a party. And with my expert instructions, I promise that everything is going to be very easy for you.
Sandra, it isn't that I don't want to help you. But I have the twins to take care of, and they are a full-time job. I just won't be able to help you. I really would appreciate it if you could just reschedule this family reunion for another time, or maybe do it at someone else's house.
Ugh, I knew I should have expected something like this from you. Here I thought you might like to step up and be part of the family, but it's always excuses with you.
I'm not making excuses. I'm letting you know my limitations of what I'm willing to help you with. But if you're not going to be actually doing anything and making me do all the heavy lifting, then I don't want to do this.
But I've already invited everyone over for this.
So then you've already set a date for this and everything. That isn't fair. You can't assume that I'm going to be free or that I'll be able to help you in the way you need for this.
Oh, please, you're just a housewife. Don't act like you don't have plenty of free time.
I do not have free time. I am literally a new mother to twins. That means I am always cooking for 3, changing 2 people at once, doubling my time for doctor's appointments. Just when did you set this banquet of yours for, anyway?
It's going to be in 4 days, if you must know.
So then you planned for this to happen in the middle of the week.
And just what is so wrong with that? Why are you so fixated on that?
Because I have plans then, and I won't be able to help you.
And just what are your plans that are so important, huh?
Well, my sister is coming to visit my parents.
Ugh, what? The timing for that could not be worse.
Exactly. That's what I've been trying to tell you, Sandra. The least you could have done was ask me about possible dates beforehand, and then maybe we could have tried to work something out. But if you don't move this to another day, then there's no way that I'd be able to help at all.
You really must think the world revolves around you, huh? Are you really going to prioritize seeing your sister over doing this for your own family? Why don't you tell your sister to come another day? Tell her that you already agreed to help with something else and you won't be able to see her.
But I didn't agree to anything at all.
So you're telling me that you think your side of the family is more important than your husband's? I can't believe my poor son married such a selfish woman.
That isn't what I'm saying at all, and you know that. You're not being fair to me.
I don't want to hear whatever excuse you've prepared for yourself. You need to learn to shut up and do what your mother-in-law tells you to do. I have already scheduled this family banquet, and there is nothing that is going to change those plans.
Well, then I just won't be able to help you with any of that. Do you understand that?
I can't believe you're choosing to act this way with me.
I'm not acting like anything. I've made myself very clear about this whole thing.
Well then, I guess I'll have no choice but to explain to my relatives that you didn't care enough about them or me to help with dinner. I'm sure they would all just love you after that, don't you think? If you want things to go well with my relatives, you'll do as I say or else.
I don't see why you can't just invite them over and we all order pizza or something. It doesn't have to be some big, elaborate banquet.
There you go again, just treating my family like they don't matter, or that they're not worth putting any effort into please. If this is really how you're going to be, then maybe I need to talk to my son about getting a divorce with you. I don't think he realizes just how useless his wife really is. Michaela, what is the meaning of this? Why isn't anything ready for the banquet at all?
Is it already time for people to be coming over?
What kind of response is that? Of course it is! I told you that this was happening and that there was nothing you could do to change it, remember? Don't act like you didn't know my relatives were coming.
I actually don't think anyone is coming, so you have nothing to worry about. I'm certainly not going to go anyways, so please don't bother me about this.
What do you mean nobody is coming? What are you talking about?
I mean that none of your relatives said they were going to come. There was going to be no banquet, get it?
I still don't understand what you mean.
I mean that I told them not to come.
What do you mean? You did this? You're the reason nobody is going to come to our important family reunion?
Sorry, I should have made myself more clear. I only told them not to come because every single person I invited said that they really didn't want to go. They all thought that doing something like this in the middle of the week was just going to be a big chore.
That isn't true. Everyone should have been really, really excited for this.
Who would be excited about some big dinner party with drinks in the middle of the week? People have jobs and school, and they don't have time for something like what you wanted.
Don't you dare speak for my family as if you know them better than I do. I have been planning events like this since you were in diapers. I know what my family likes.
Actually, it's a good thing you did ask me to invite everyone in your place. They all told me that they hated going to your events, but you just never stopped asking until they agreed to go. I guess they were all more comfortable telling me no. And anyways, that's why not a single person said they were going to be there for the party.
You're lying to me. I know that you are.
Well, you're more than welcome to wait and see for yourself, but I'm not going to be there.
You must have just told everyone that it was cancelled, and that's why no one is going to show up. I'm sure if I called people and told them that it was still happening, that everyone would come running.
Okay, then go ahead and try that.
Oh, how could you do this to me? I was really looking forward to this.
Well, it sounds to me like you were the only person in your family who was. That you were still going to make me do all the work for an event that no one would have wanted to go be at anyway.
Shut up! How are you to talk to your mother-in-law like that? Just who do you think you are, huh?
I think that I'm someone who has been very reasonable and patient with you while you have been nothing of the sort to me. Anyways, I have things I need to do. Goodbye.
This is all your fault, you little brat!
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this family gathering that I heard was going on without my knowing!
Oh, that. Right. Yeah, I'm going to that. Although since I'm breastfeeding, I won't be drinking, of course.
But I don't get it. Why wasn't I invited? I mean, I was the one who planned to have a family gathering in the first place.
Because this isn't one of your huge elaborate parties, Sandra. This is just a small gathering for whomever can make it on the weekend. You always go way over the top, and it's intimidating to your family who have to deal with it when they'd rather just be able to relax.
But that's not fair! What's wrong with wanting to do something big for my family like I always do?
I already explained this to you. You can't just plan these big dinners or barbecues or drinking parties in the middle of the week. I don't know if you've realized this, but your family aren't the kinds of people to do day drinking or go to work hungover. They don't do big, elaborate parties. They want a quiet, small gathering where they can relax and feel like they can talk freely.
And you're saying that I don't do that for my family. Is that really why nobody showed up last week?
That's what I was trying to explain to you! Yes!
But this isn't fair. Now there's some family event and I'm the only one not invited? I thought my family loved me more than that.
It's not that they don't love you, but it's that you tend to go overboard with the drinking at these things and it really puts people off.
Shut up! How dare you try and tell me how I make my family feel? You don't know what you're talking about.
Don't blame me because you don't know your family as well as you thought, okay? You're the one who keeps making these big plans without asking about anyone's schedules or anything like that at all. If anything, you've proven that you don't know what your family wants.
Don't talk to me like that. I am your mother-in-law.
That doesn't mean that you can treat me however you'd like, you know?
But I just wanted to see my family.
And it's not that they don't want to see you either, but they want to see you at an event that works for their schedule and where they don't have to worry about you drinking too much.
Do they really all feel that way about me?
I think it would help if you didn't try and plan these things once a month. I mean, do you have any idea how hard it is for everyone to coordinate a day that they can see each other once a month? Besides, most family reunions happen once or twice a year. You just don't need to be doing so much, Sandra. I get that you have a lot of free time, but most of your family isn't retired like you.
So you think that I do what I do because I'm bored? Is that what you think of me?
I'm just passing along what I've heard from your family, that's all. If you want to talk about this anymore, why don't you take it up with them? I have to go and take care of my twins now. After that, Sandra finally seemed to settle down a bit. She called her relatives and they confessed how they really felt about her events. After that, she started planning much smaller gatherings and much less frequently. It was only once a year or so that we started having our family reunions. And when we did, people showed up early to help set up and stayed afterwards to help with the cleaning. Sandra even started limiting herself to 3 drinks at the events and stuck to it very strictly. It seemed like all of her family was grateful to see that, and her mood even began to improve. Now Sandra and I get along much better, and so do the rest of her family too. Her and I still have a long way to go in terms of our relationship with each other, but I'm glad that this didn't end up a total disaster for everyone involved. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.